Tonight on Lost and Found.
I, at that time, didn't think it was parting forever.
The teenage daughter who vanished.
I'm longing to see my daughter. That's what drives me at the moment.
Why has he left it so long?
When you make a commitment, you stick with it.
Her dad left when she was born.
Was I not good enough? What did he even know about me?
The challenge that prompted her search.
It changed life drastically because I thought I was going to die.
Is there any hope of reconnecting?
Would he want me in his life? I need to find out from him.
And?
I'm predicting that he's tall and good looking.
He's never met his father.
Just had to cope with it.
His mum's keen to help.
Anthony has got my whole support. I'm right there behind him.
Families that are lost and found. They're always unpredictable.
You're joking.
I'm Kees van den Bosch. I'm looking for my daughter Carolina, who is now 57 years old, and I haven't seen her since 1973. And I'd love to see her again before I pass away.
When time is running out, the things we place on bucket lists gain even more significance. Kees van den Bosch is a retired engineer. Born in Holland, he moved to New Zealand in his early 20s with his fiancée, Tina, at a time when New Zealand was looking for skilled workers.
Go on, go on.
Life was turning out rosy. Just 3 weeks after arriving, they married, and 9 months later, baby Carolina was born.
Carolina was a very vivacious girl, and we had a very close relationship as father and daughter.
After 16 happy years in New Zealand, Kees came home one day to discover his wife was having an affair. The marriage ended instantly. Kees went on to marry his current wife, while his ex-wife returned to Holland, taking teenage daughter Carolina with her.
I said to her on my last talk to her, "You're going with Mum to Holland, but don't forget I'm here." I, at that time, didn't think it was parting forever, because she loved New Zealand. She was a real outdoors girl.
Why wouldn't you keep in touch?
I thought she would open the conversation by contacting me. She knew where I was, and that's what I told her.
41 years, and you haven't looked for her?
No, you know, I'm very high principled on issues of when you make a commitment, you stick with it.
But that's pretty harsh. I mean, you're her dad, and in your heart, do you cry for her?
The way I express love is probably not the run-of-the-mill stuff, you know. I'm longing to see my daughter. That's what drives me at the moment.
Kees has just turned 80. He lives in a retirement village in Pakuranga. With not a lot of time left, he wants to find his only child, Carolina, who he last saw when she was 17.
I have missed her immensely over the years, hoping that she would come back to me.
I know that Carolina travelled back to Holland with her mum, Tina, in 1973 on a New Zealand passport, but by now Carolina could be anywhere. It's likely that she's married and changed her name. So I focus on Tina, and I find her sister under the name Wismeyer living in Australia.
Hello?
Look, I'm trying to find a woman called Tina van den Bosch or Tina Wismeyer.
Pardon? Tina van der Bosch.
Yes.
Yeah. Tina, she died, actually.
It's a shock hearing that Tina has passed away. She was my big hope for finding Carolina. But the family give me a number for an uncle living in Holland who may know something.
Look, I'm ringing from New Zealand, but I understand Tina died, but you don't know what happened to her daughter, Carolina, do you?
I have a telephone number from my sister, Tina.
She's alive.
Yeah?
So Tina is not dead after all. I arrange for Tina to pass my number on to Carolina, who later calls and says she's happy to meet. With that, it's time to visit the Netherlands. I'm heading for Almere, near Amsterdam, where Carolina lives. After working for a Dutch bank, she's now retired. She's told me that not only was she an only child, but now divorced, she had no children of her own. She's intimated to me that she has reservations about meeting her dad.
Are you Carolina?
Yes, I am.
Come inside. So, what happened? Why are you and your dad not in contact?
He said to me he was starting a new life and he was closing the door on his past. And I informed him, I am part of your past. You're closing the door, you'll have to open it. And that's the last time I saw my father.
He believed it was up to you to contact him.
He possibly doesn't remember that he said that he closed the door on his past. He possibly doesn't remember that, but I do.
I suppose you're a lot like him, two stubborn people.
Well, I don't know if you'd call it stubborn, but acceptance of somebody else's wishes. I don't think he realised what an impact that statement had on me.
As I mentioned on the phone, Kees has done a video message. Would you like to see it?
Of course, definitely.
So if you were to push that button there, that's your dad talking to you.
Dear Carolina,
Wow.
I love to see you again. It's been 41 years when you parted from my life, and I would like you to consider that I might not be around for very much longer. And before that happens, please contact me. It has all been my fault. I should have made this plea much earlier. But please, please come and see me.
Wow. Whoa. He's changed a lot. He really is an old man.
I think he had to eat a lot of humble pie to do that message.
Yes, definitely, definitely. He has swallowed his pride, yes. He was also very proud in old school, and he brought me up the same way. And that's had consequences for our relationship.
So I can go back to New Zealand and tell him that you're happy to meet him?
80-year-old Kees van den Bosch last saw his daughter, Carolina, as a teenager. I've located her in Holland, but after 40 years apart, can the father-daughter bond be repaired?
So I can go back to New Zealand and tell him that you're happy to meet him?
Very definitely, very definitely. I will meet him, yes.
He'll be pleased to hear that.
And now he's opened the door, or as far as I'm concerned, this is kicking it in, not just opening it. So I keep to my word, and I'm willing to see him.
Having now met both father and daughter, it's incredible how similar their characters are, both waiting for the other to make contact. But after 4 decades, Kees blinked first.
Finding your daughter will mean a lot to you.
There's hardly a day goes by that I don't think of her and wish I had her near me. I actually got a picture of her here. She's 57 now. I could be a grandfather.
When you look at the photo, what do you think?
Why aren't you close to me? How can I find you? Yeah.
Well, I met a woman in Holland recently.
Yeah.
She's 57 years old.
You did.
And she asked me to tell her father that she loved him.
Tell me about her, please.
She would like you to go to Holland and meet her. The first time I met you and talked to you, you said you weren't a man to show emotion.
You've made my day. Oh. Oh, Lord. What a day. Thank you very much.
Kees now heads for Amsterdam. He's only been back to Holland once since he left for New Zealand in 1956 to begin a new life. It's a bittersweet homecoming. The ghosts of war are still embedded in his memory. Born to a Jewish mother and a Russian father, Kees was only 6 and his brother 7 when the Germans occupied Amsterdam in World War II. Their mother and a baby sister went underground and their father fled to Russia. To survive the harshness of war, the young Kees developed a thick skin.
During the war, my brother and I lived for 3.5 years on the streets of Amsterdam. We got pretty good at stealing coals from the railway yards and bargaining for bread and butter for that. That's how we survived. We slept under bridges. Now, this is one of the bridges I slept under. And there was in there a green area where they grew shrubs. We hid all our belongings in the shrubs. Well, we used to sleep here, and we made this our headquarters, you know.
So you were 7 and 8 years old?
That's right. It was summertime, luckily. It wasn't winter, but as children, you don't think about that the hardship you have. You just live through it because you have to, you know.
Near the end of the war, Kees was placed with relatives. He went on to become a ship's engineer. He saw his mother occasionally, but his father stayed in Russia for more than 30 years. Carolina has arrived to meet her father. I'm nervous about how this reunion will go. Will the apparent goodwill on both sides prevail over the 40 years of stubbornness?
Have you thought about what you'll say to Carolina? Are you going to give her a hug?
Yeah, that's what I want to do, and really tell her how much I've missed her.
Well, if you were to look over your left shoulder,
sir.
see that lady there?
Oh, she's grey.
Go and say hello to your daughter.
Oh. Oh, gosh. Oh. Wow.
Hi.
Oh, lovely. You look pretty.
Thank you very much.
Oh. 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 What a lovely day this is going to be. Oh.
To all of a sudden see him 38 years older than the last time I saw him, it was a shock to the system.
I was thinking, does he still love me? I have disappointed you, haven't I, in my life?
A bit, yeah.
When you went away with your mother and I saw you walking out of my life, I said to you that time, didn't I, always be there?
No, you said you shut the door on your past.
Yeah, on my marriage, but not on you.
No. You said you shut your door on the past. You shut the door on your past. And I told you I was on the other side of that door and you would have to open it. Maybe you don't remember that, unfortunately.
Yeah. I'd been looking forward to this moment so long. She's more than I expected, actually.
Next day, Kees and Carolina meet again. They have many years to catch up on.
I've only seen this as a picture in the Rijksmuseum. I feel emotionally fulfilled. The purpose of my visit was totally centered on my daughter. And having spent the day with her, I'm looking forward to the future because there is a future with her rather than without her.
My mother has embroidered this for me. It's hanging in my home. I'm very happy that he has found me again. So it's really been a roller coaster of emotions, and still is, because we've got so much to talk about.
Yeah, now what was on
Kees also had a second surprise while in Holland. He met his sister he had not seen for 74 years. A month later, I get a phone call from Carolina. Kees had stayed on in Holland, and things have turned bad.
I should have kept my side of the door slammed shut and thrown away the key.
So it must be very disappointing to...
I've asked him 2 or 3 times to leave us alone.
So Kees now to you is what?
Nothing.
Kees says while there have been misunderstandings, he's still hopeful for a long-term relationship with Carolina.
My name is Reihana Apini, and I'm looking for my real father.
This is gonna hurt real bad, it's gonna hurt real bad now.
I hope he wants to get to know me. I had a major health scare last year, and I made a bucket list. One major one was to find my father. Please help me.
Reihana Apini is a 32-year-old single mother who lives in Lower Hutt.
What did you want for dinner tonight?
She has a 12-year-old son, Khan.
Eggs.
You like your eggs, eh?
Yeah, I do.
Because you look like one.
You are one.
Reihana is a former lifeguard and has led a very active life. Her birth father saw her as a baby, but then vanished. Reihana believes she knows why.
I believe he left me, from what I was told. I wasn't born a boy, but however I grew up being a tomboy. I grew up with 5 cousins. I was treated as one of the boys, so I got dirty and I did all the yucky things, but I always sort of thought, why did you leave? Why weren't you there? Would he want me in his life?
Reihana's mum, Mary Ann, was at high school when she first met Gary Pratt. They became a couple, but never married. Soon after Mary Ann gave birth to Reihana, Gary shot through, possibly home to Wairoa or further up the east coast. Reihana has never seen her dad. She was raised by her mother and her grandparents and says she always felt different. She didn't know what to think about Gary.
I did have a lot of anger towards my birth father, but when you're young, you don't sort of know, like, why. Was I not good enough? Did he even know about me? In later life, I actually thought, okay, no, I need to find out from him.
Over the years, she picked up fragments of information about her birth father.
As far as I know, he was a really good rugby player and an excellent guitar player. Quite into his music, and apparently looks a lot like me.
6, 7. Oh, lucky.
Reihana's son, Khan, is growing up fast.
I don't think I've got $600.
Show me the money.
And she wants to be able to share with him their Maori heritage.
No, yes, please.
I was quite into Haka growing up, but not really now. The Māori culture is quite dwindling.
She had some compelling motivation to find Gary and to discover his cultural background. A year ago, a routine health check unveiled some chilling news.
The big C word came out, cervical cancer. That is a do or die, life or death situation. It changed life drastically because I thought I was going to die.
Reihana was forced to re-examine what was important in her life, and she drew up a plan for her future.
The top thing was to actually live life again, starting with finding who I am, finding where I come from, who I come from.
Your dad was part of that?
Yes, finding my dad would be a great start to finishing up my bucket list.
I start my search calling all the Gary Pratts in the white pages.
You're not a Gary Pratt who was born in Wairau and used to live in Featherston, are you?
But when this proves fruitless,
Not you.
I look elsewhere. On Old Friends, there is what seems a promising lead. A Gary Pratt who teaches kapa Haka, and I managed to trace his phone number. Former lifeguard Reihana Arpanes had a recent health scare. It's pushed her to get help to find the dad who left when she was born.
Oh, hello, is that Gary Pratt?
Yes.
Gary, were you by chance from the Wairarapa at one stage?
Long time ago, yes.
Well, look, my name is David Lomas, and a young woman has asked me to help find you.
Okay.
Could you have fathered a child when you were living in Featherston?
No.
Well, she believes she's your daughter.
No.
In spite of his denials, Gary Pratt agrees to meet. I'm heading to a quiet Auckland beach, where I'm hoping he will show up.
Well, you must be Gary.
Kia ora.
I'm David.
Kia ora.
Hi.
Kia ora, David.
So, you didn't know about Reihana?
No. But a year or two before my sister, who was killed in an accident in 2011, she did mention something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the first time you knew you had...
just never really followed that up.
And how was that?
I don't know. I was okay with it, yeah. Because I've already got children and my girls, they're awesome.
Oh, so you didn't run away when they...
No. And because my Māori tanga, where I learned from my uncles from Tūhoi, from Wakarimona and Ruatahuna. In Māori, we say kei te tū ahau. I raro I te mana a te wahine. Stand behind the mana or the power of the female. Because of the first thing you hear when you go into a marae.
Because she's always believed that you had disappeared because you wanted a son. Is that true, or...?
Not that I know. No, I ended up where I was working, at the back of Ekatahuna. And then I ended up heading back home to the East Coast. Yeah, just ended up in the bush, shepherding and hunting.
Well, Reihana's heard all her life that the one thing she's been told is she looks like you.
Oh, wow.
So would you like to see her?
Yes, please. Thanks.
So, if you were to push that button there, that's your girl talking to you.
Hi, I'm Reihana. I'm your daughter, and I'm 32, single solo mum of a one huge boy. I've had bad health, and last year made me make a bucket list. I'd really like to meet you because you've always been in my mind, you've always been in my dreams, and I'd like to meet you, please.
Awesome.
She your girl?
Aye.
Do your other children, how will they be having another sister arrive?
Well, they'll be okay. They'll be okay.
So I can tell Reihana that her dad wants to know her?
Yes, please. Hari ko kei roto I taku nei manawa. happy in here.
Well, congratulations, you got another daughter.
Kia ora. Thank you.
Gary teaches kapa haka at a number of Auckland secondary schools. Gary is of Ngāti Kahungunu and is deeply embedded in Maori culture, which will be a revelation for Reihana, answering the many questions she has about his heritage.
Yeah, there it is. Stop.
Incredibly, he keeps a home in the Hutt Valley, not far from Reihana.
Boys, you got to do that.
He has 8 children, ranging in age from 8 to 30. They live in different parts of New Zealand. I'm leaving Gary to continue his work in Auckland. It's time to update Reihana back in Wellington.
So your mother and your grandparents, how are they about you looking for Gary?
They've said that it's my decision. They'll be there for me in spirit.
You thought about what would happen if he rejected you and if we found him and he said, nah?
Well, a decision, yes or no, rejection or getting to know me, it's still something. I would be upset, but that's his decision and I'll respect that.
Well, I met a man in Auckland the other day. He looks just like you.
Oh, wow.
He's your dad. And he wants to meet you.
Really? Ooh. You're joking.
No.
You're not joking. Oh, well, that's pretty awesome. Oh, I'm glad I don't have makeup on because I'm going to start crying. Wow. I'd happily meet him, please. Bit speechless, actually. Oh, no, that's cool. That's awesome.
It's time to bring father and daughter together. Gary and his family have been preparing.
This morning we had a karakia at the whare, at the house, and yeah, all the boys did their karakia, and I finished it off. And then, yeah, we all just, how do you feel? And all of us, we're just all excited. Yeah, full of aroha. Yeah, love, eh? Full of love.
It's been one heck of a journey for you. In a few minutes, you're going to meet your dad. How are you feeling about it all?
I am quite nervous. Sort of having a bit of a witty, shaking of the hands, or witty, as you would sort of say in Māori terms. So, yeah, shaking in my boots.
Well, you're not just going to meet your dad today. Your brothers have turned up too. Three of them, they heard about it and they got on the bus and they came down from Gisborne overnight just to be here to say hello to you.
It's really cool, man. It's awesome.
So if you see that door over there?
Single mum Reihana Apani grew up without her dad. Now she's about to meet him for the first time.
It's really cool, man. It's awesome.
So if you see that door over there, if you're to go and open that door, the man inside waiting to see you is your dad.
Okay.
And I think they've got something special to welcome you.
Oh.
Off you go.
Off we go. Walking across, I was like, what am I going to see, you know? I was thinking, have they got a feed for me? And then all the emotions just took over.
Kia ora. Kia ora.
Oh, I fogged up my glasses.
Kaita pai.
Seeing him for the first time was overwhelming. It was like looking at myself. I do look like you.
Handsome, mate? Handsome?
Pretty handsome. When I saw the Haka, I did not expect that. I was like the queen, like, oh, I'm the Māori queen here, and I've never had a pōhiri like that. Any kind of a welcome. Oh, I'm blind as a bat without my glasses.
Ah, kaita pai. So is he. That's your brother.
Yeah, I'll leave
Kaita
the
pai.
wife
Te Nearangi. Oh, mate, yeah, it was beautiful. Very touching, I think, both sides, eh? Because her heart was just boom, 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 pounding like anything. Yeah. Manaki, tangata.
Oh, I'll keep having the hugs if I can. And I will have all the hugs. Make up for lost time.
Absolutely amazing. The boys are so touched in their manawa, in their hearts. So I'll just embrace her with all my aroha, because that's how I like to be.
So, who are you to her now?
To Reihana?
Yeah.
Oh, tōna papa, her dad.
Yeah, and this is me and my boy, Khan.
He is a big boy.
He is a big boy, yeah.
saw you.
My soul is settled. Well, actually, it's a bit up in emotions and very high, but she is settling and really good. Good year.
Gary has a big tour planned for Reihana, visiting his marae at Waikari Moana, Te Tihoi, Te Whana Apani, and where his dad's from.
I'm Anthony Jones, I'm 29, and I'm looking for my biological father, Jeffrey Clay. I've never seen him, and I want to find him and meet him so I can fill this dark hole inside of me and just know where I actually really come from.
Anthony Jones is a father of 4 who spent his whole life on the West Coast. He works in forestry. Anthony was raised by his mother and his stepdad, both West Coast farmers. Anthony has always wondered who his birth dad is and what he looks like.
I'm predicting that he's tall and fairly big and good looking.
In what ways do you think you're like your dad?
Definitely love the woman.
Anthony's mother, Pauline, met Jeffrey Clay while working in a Wellington bar when she was 21. They had a brief but happy relationship. Pauline says that ended when Jeff met another woman, about the time Pauline found she was pregnant. A short time after Anthony was born, Pauline met her husband, the man who would raise Anthony, along with 5 other children he and Pauline had together.
When did you find out that the man who was raising you wasn't your natural father?
When I was younger, and I tried to call him Dad, and he just didn't like it. And then got 5 younger brothers and sisters, and they all called him Dad because they knew he was his dad.
Were you happy with your dad, your stepdad?
Yep, he showed me lots of things, how to fish, how to ride a bike. Definitely a good man, and grateful for having him there in my life.
But there must have been a loneliness being the only one who didn't call him Dad.
It was definitely hard, but just had to deal with it and cope with it. Yeah. Why would my father give up? I couldn't do that.
Anthony has a partner he plans to marry, and they have 4 children. He's close with his mum, Pauline.
Look at me.
Came out a cutie, all right?
You reckon?
Pauline has told him everything she knows about his biological father.
Anthony has got my whole support for wanting to meet his dad, no matter how or which way he was going to do it. I'm right there behind him, right there.
My search for Jeff Clay is difficult, but I get a breakthrough when Pauline remembers the names of Jeff's parents in Wellington. Through them, I discover that their son moved to Australia soon after the birth of Anthony. They were sad to lose contact with Anthony and are happy to give me Jeff's number. It turns out Jeff has been in Sydney for the whole of Anthony's life, so that's where I'm heading.
Hello, is that Jeff Clay?
Speaking.
Oh, hi, Jeff. My name's David Lomas, and a man called Anthony is trying to get hold of you. Does that make any sense?
I've just found, in Sydney, the father of forestry worker Anthony Jones. Will he want to meet the son he left behind?
Hello, is that Jeff Clay?
Speaking.
Oh, hi, Jeff. My name's David Lomas, and a man called Anthony is trying to get hold of you. Does that make any sense?
Sounds a bit strange, but it could be my son.
Anthony has asked me to show you a video message. I was wondering if you'd be happy to meet me.
Yeah, but nothing bad, is it? Or it's all good?
No, he's fine, but if I could show you this video message, it would explain everything, I think.
Yeah, I'd love to find out more.
Jeff Clay lives in Manly. He agrees to meet me down by the ferry wharf.
You're not by chance Jeff, are you?
David?
Nice to meet you. Thank you
Nice
for coming
to meet you.
down.
No problem.
Grab a seat.
Thank you.
So, you're probably wondering what exactly all this is about, but how did you and Anthony come to be separated?
I knew she was pregnant before I came over, but I actually didn't know I had a son until I got, until I got the phone call to be confirmed when she sort of tracked me down where I was working.
Why did you not stay in touch, keep in contact?
I tried. We were going to get back together.
Jeff tells me that after Anthony was born, he tried to reconnect with Anthony's mother, but by then she was engaged to another man.
What do you know about your son?
Not much. When New Zealand social welfare got hold of me, they wouldn't tell me a thing. I tried to ask lots of things.
What would you have liked to have happened?
I always just hoped that, Anthony was, had a good head on his shoulders and was doing things that he wanted to do.
Would you like to see him?
Yes, please.
If you were to just push that button there, the bloke talking to you will be your son.
Hi, Jeff. I'm your son, Anthony. I live here on the West Coast. It's been 29 years thinking about you and where you are and why you left and why you never contacted me. I just want to know some answers that you can give me to know who you are, so then I can find out who I am.
So, that's your boy?
Awesome.
What do you think of him?
Yeah, he looks good. He looks like a farmer. Can be born on the farm. No, but he looks healthy. Spoke really well.
Would you like to meet him?
Yes, please. Yeah, I'd love to meet him.
Well done. I'll get your boy over here.
Thank you.
Jeff works for the Manly Council and has lived in the seaside suburb for the last 30 years. He's been with partner Elaine, a New Zealander from North Auckland, for 27 years. Their 2 adult daughters are both overseas. It's time to return to Greymouth to update Anthony. He arrives with his mother, and they bring with them 3 of Anthony's 4 children, including his 6-week-old identical twin daughters.
Anthony, you've never seen, heard, or know virtually nothing of your dad?
Nothing at all from my father, and that's the most thing I wondered was just what he looked like, because I've never seen a picture.
And you never had a photo or anything you could show Anthony?
No. No, we never had any photos together.
Well, I've been to Australia and met a chap. I'd just like you to have a listen to something here. If you just push that button there.
You serious?
Just push that button there and have a listen for a moment. Jeff, my name is David Lomas, and a chap called Anthony is trying to get hold of you.
Oh, right, is he really? Awesome.
He sounds like me. He sounds like me. He sounds...
Well, he is your dad.
I can't explain what I'm feeling like. I'm overwhelmed and I feel like it's a dream. Does it bring back memories for you?
Oh, yeah.
Does that sound like him?
Yeah, that's him.
Does that remind you?
Yeah, that's him.
So, would you be happy to go to Sydney to meet him?
Yep, I'm ready for this. Yep, I can do this.
Just 1 week later, Anthony is aboard the Manly ferry, on his way to meet his dad.
Been waiting 29 years. It's come to this day, right down to this moment now. And I know he's just up there in that town. So close. Nearly there.
Please stand well clear of the gateway while the crew secure
Right,
the vessel.
is that...
So, if you were to look over your left shoulder and you can just see down there a man in a white shirt.
Yeah.
So, that's your dad?
Around.
You want to go down and say hello?
I do. Wow.
Good luck. Go for it.
Around. How's it going?
Anthony, awesome.
How's it going? About
Great
time.
to see you.
It's been too long. Oh, man.
Mate, look at you, hey?
Pretty proud, eh? Yeah. I didn't even know if I'd even have this day. Like, you've always been in my mind. When I saw him, I was so happy, overwhelmed. Just wanted to pinch myself just to make sure it wasn't a dream.
Elaine?
Hi, how's it going? Lovely to meet you. Yeah, you too. Yeah, finally, I reckon.
There is a lot of sadness in Jeff, hoping one day that his son would come looking for him, and it's good for Jeff because he's been wanting that for so long.
So you get over all right?
I feel just fantastic to meet my son. He's my only son. I've got 2 daughters, but it's just nice to have that boy and just to see how strong, big boy. It's nice.
Next day, Anthony and Jeff discover a lot of common ground.
Rugby or rugby league?
Rugby league to watch.
Oh, yeah.
It's just so mind-blowing how much we're similar in so many ways, even the little wee ways that I never thought we would be the same. We are, and it was just outstanding.
Jeff can't wait to introduce Anthony to his 2 younger sisters.
Just so much more happier. We're going to keep in touch for as long as I live, for as long as he lives. I want to get married. I want him to be there, and I know he'll be there. It's going to be so great.
Next week on Lost and Found.
I feel like a dog that's been chasing a car for 20 years.
Finding his father would change his life.
Support back!
A man of 2 worlds. Can they be reunited? And
I got a lot of hits for the famous singer James Brown.
will she find her dad?